let me ask you a question. What do you think of when you hear the word addiction? Is it drugs, alcohol, a struggle that somebody can't beat? Well, I can almost guarantee that your initial thought is not food. So, food addiction is a less known but still very serious problem that people suffer from. According to Kara Gavin at Michigan Medicine, 1 in 8 Americans show signs of food addiction and ultimately obesity. There are some differences between drug and food addiction, but mostly similarities. For starters, it is linked within the same parts of the brain, being the neurons, which transmit dopamine and serotonin throughout your body, making you feel really good because dopamine is the neurotransmitter for pleasure and serotonin is the chemical for happiness within the body. And your brain becomes dependent on these two chemicals coming in contact with each other, and addiction is formed. And now, when both of these chemicals come in contact with each other in such high amounts, a high is formed. Different types of food cause different types of highs. While food addiction and drug addiction aren't going to have the same highs, it's still going to give off the same chemicals. So, marijuana and heroin aren't going to give off the same high because they're two different drugs. Just like how pizza and cucumbers are not going to get off the same high because they're two different foods. So, according to a nutritionist located in Iceland, she found that the most addictive foods contain sugar and fat. And that is most foods nowadays. So, she also listed out a list of the top addictive foods. Top 3 being pizza, chocolate, and chips, which contain loads of sugar and fat. While the least addictive foods are cucumbers, carrots, and beans. Plain beans. Addiction is very much a mental disorder, so it's not physical. It's through a mindset and a mind process. So it sounds cliche, but the first step of helping addiction is admitting that there's a problem, and then you seek help and stay committed to a fix. According to Cynthia DeMarco at MD Anderson Cancer Center, the different symptoms of overeating are abdominal discomfort, bloating, heartburn, metabolic stress, and organ strain, while the long-term effects are weight gain leading to obesity and an unhealthy digestive system, which lead to your body destroying itself over the years. The percentage of an adult American with obesity is 75%. So 75% of Americans are obese. And this percentage has skyrocketed through the years. So this is mostly because of the USD and the USDA. They have a lower standard and qualifications for what gets put into our food. Unlike other countries who have higher standards. So when you look at Canada and European countries, they don't have the same regulations as us. So the USDA puts in lots of fat, lots of sugar, just to make money, basically. So when you look at the back of a food package and you read the ingredient list, I can bet you don't know how to pronounce half of those words. And if you can't pronounce them, then why should you put them into your body? So by cutting back on overprocessed foods and eating more healthy foods like cucumbers, you're helping your future self stay healthy and stay alive. So what happens next after a huge addiction has been formed? Overdosing most likely happens next. The definition of overdosing, according to the National Harm Reduction Coalition, or NHRC, is a toxic amount of chemical or drug substances overwhelming the body. Overdosing happens when your body has developed a resistance to the high. Your brain still craves the chemical release of the serotonin and the dopamine, but you're just not getting it from your regular amount because your brain, you've processed this food or drugs in your body so much and so regularly that it's just used to your normal amount. So then you start to crave the serotonin and dopamine rush. So you take more and more and more until, bam, an overdose has occurred. While overdosing is the most common referring to drugs, overdosing on food also happens to be the term called binge eating, just like binge watching, or acute overeating. Acute overeating is very serious because it can cause a death, but it's not very common. While Rachel Adams, a medical informative and nutritionalist, recognized that food addiction is not a 100% studied and classified disease, it is linked closely to feeding and eating disorders and substance use disorders. So, even though it's not 100% studied and classified, it is still very serious and very true. Be aware and stay safe. The 3 sources that I used, the 3 main, were National Institute of Health, Michigan Health, and the USDA website.